Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Coming again to you live again. This is Miss Brenda with another perspective. I thought today I would kind of come with some information. Specifically today, I'm going to kind of gear it toward women and men, of course, can be part of that. I've just been kind of doing some real good reading on books. I read one some time ago, Cindy Trim, and in it she talks about the book is called Prevail. She talks about my topic today is women moving forward and being successful, taking charge of your finances, seeing, looking at situations with new eyes. In other words, seeing it as something that you can achieve goals and being successful. Well, the book was called Prevail, and it was by Cindy Trim. And one of the topics she has in there is called "With Sing with New Eyes." And I'd like to read this quote. The quote is by a Viktor Frankl. It says, "When you are no longer able to change a situation," it says, "we are challenged to change ourselves." And I like that because sometimes you can't change that situation, but you can certainly change yourself. And that is with new eyes and new ideas, new things that the Lord put up on our heart and impress upon us. And Cindy says right here, it says, um, experience will continually broaden your perspective, our perspective rather, and very often delightfully surprise you. I like that verse. I like that. That was See with New Eyes. That was a chapter. And that was um, chapter or part 2 on page 99. And that was Prevail. It was Dr. Cindy Trim. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but the book was very powerful, very enlightened, with information, loaded. And so if you get an opportunity, pick that up, maybe perhaps at your nearest Barnes & Noble. Prevail was the title of the book, Prevail. So tonight I want to just kind of be talking about women and financial situations and gaining control of your finances. I'm not saying that you're not, but I just feel like that's an area that I can share, given some of my background and some of the things that I didn't take hold on and challenge myself and to become more successful in that area. Because, when I look back, um, finances, when it comes to women, some women get right in there and they take charge and they're very successful. But if you look at historically, culture, tradition, sometime in certain families, or among women, or ethnic groups, perhaps. Women didn't get in there and take charge of those finances right away. The men were left to do it, and the husbands, which is fine. It's good to work together as a team. I'm always going to promote healthy marriage and relationships. I'm always going to promote that. And I'm always going to have a biblical perspective most time when it comes to that. But I also believe that women come empowered and come with wisdom and knowledge, and you're armed and you're prepared when you have to take charge of certain things. If your husband should have to go on a business trip for weeks or months or what have you, women need to be ready and empowered to take that leadership role. Another book, today I'm giving my little tidbits because today I am talking about women being empowered with their finances. Um, this one is Susie Orman. And Orman is very powerful in um, some of the things that she talks about. One of the things she also talks about in Women and Money and being empowered, she talks about raising your expectation. We have to raise our expectation as we're learning and challenging ourselves to be better budget financially off. We also encourage our daughters, whether they're young or whether they're young adults, it doesn't matter their age, but we're also empowered to empower our daughters. And so I want to read this little snippet here. She says, raising your expectations. She talks about when we raise our expectation, we are empowered to go in and negotiate, for pay raises, to go in and talk about what it is that we desire, our expectation, and knowing our value and our worth when it comes to jobs and arming ourselves, preparing ourselves. That might mean you may have to get a little bit more education. You may have to work on a bachelor's, a master's, what have you. But when you're working on that, you're able to go in there and make those demands professionally, that is, and really stand up for what you believe is rightfully yours to have. Another thing she talks about, and I love this part, she talks about the 8 qualities of a wealthy woman. One might readily say, well, you have to have a lot of finances, or, a wealthy woman means a woman with wealth, finances. That is true, but there's something that happens even before you attain that particular wealth. She talks about the 8 qualities that balance a woman, that make you become a wealthy woman, or the 8 qualities of a wealthy woman. And so I'd like to just read those things as harmony, happiness, balance, wisdom, courage and cleanliness, generosity and beauty. She says harmony is balance, but most important, one of the most important quality of all. She goes in and says this. I highlighted it. It says, um, women can gain the insight into external forces, she says, that tend to make a woman feel powerless. She says, when it comes to matters of money, she says, then she goes on to say, it is time to learn how to recondition ourselves from the inside. I love this part. What is required now is that we become, or that we come from a different place within our being, so that we can realize the potential we all have to becoming this powerful and wealthy woman. And today that was my tidbit on women and money and women being empowered with their finances. And so I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. I'm still going through the book and other material, but I said that I would be coming with, books or professionals that are very versed in their field and giving information from these individuals. Like you, me, myself, I'm constantly looking for ways to be empowered financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, but first and foremost, um, changing, seeing things with a new look, as Cindy Trim had said in the book that I shared earlier, Prevail, seeing things through new eyes. And as Susie Orman says, you can and we can become these powerful, wealthy women, not flamboyant, not looking for a pat on the back, but ways to empower ourselves so that we can empower others, so that we can empower the women in our lives. May it be our daughters, may it be women that we may mentor, young ladies, so that we can become that force that God has called us to be. He's called us to do a work. He's called us to come along and be that women that have a voice in the community. And sometimes having a voice oftentimes mean that finances, being able to help someone financially, being able to first and foremost help our families in that financial needs when they come up. And so I thought it was important, some things that the Lord is dealing with me, some things that He's been showing me in terms of my own. And I thought it was important to share that tidbit on today. Today is February the 2nd. And to share that tidbit, being empowered. I want you to go through the rest of this year looking at ways to become more knowledgeable when it comes to finances, more knowledgeable in whatever areas that's going to help uplift your family, uplift your community, uplift you first and foremost. If you're not lifted and you're broken and you don't have those things that can help be an arm bearer to someone else, I mean, what good would we be? So we want to be uplifted. We want to be empowered financially. We want to be that wealthy woman that walks in balance, harmony, that walks in courage and cleanliness, that walks in generosity, beauty, that walks with balance and wisdom. And I did mention harmony and happiness. I just believe those things are powerful. These are called the eight qualities of a wealthy woman. And if you today have it on your heart and have it on your mind to become what God has called you to be and to become, then I admonish you to begin to walk in that way, walk in that wisdom, and see things change for you and change for those around you. And so again, I want to be coming back with other information within our community, issues with men and women, politics, policy, our economic situation in the land. That's an interesting topic to me, things that I've been kind of studying and looking into. Um, that's one of the things maybe not in my next video, but that I want to be talking about, our economical um, situation here in the United States. You know, what is the economic landscape? For families, for those who are disadvantaged, for the poor in the land, things like that. So, on that note, I am so excited about what the Lord is doing. I am so excited about just the things that He's put in my heart. And I'm excited. And I want you to get excited. And on that note, this is Miss Brenda with another perspective, looking forward to continuing our conversation, looking forward to bringing you the best of information. I'm hoping that it's going to touch somebody, and I'm hoping that you'll give me your comments. I'm hoping that you would subscribe. Hit that button. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm starting out. I'm excited, and I don't know all the other things that my heart is just filled with. I don't know which other topic, even though I talked about economics. I'm just so excited. There's so much. There's so much. And so while on that note, I want you to have a productive day. Don't forget, be looking forward for more of my videos. Again, this is Miss Brenda with another perspective. Have a wonderful and productive day. Continue. Although it's late in the evening, continue to be productive. On that note, have a wonderful afternoon.